Yes, and welcome back to the Fresh Arsenal Show Transfer Shorts with me, PB. And today we have another new player to look at. Arsenal have been very active over the last few days, and targets coming out of the woodwork that people hadn't really seen us being linked to before. So we're having to move fast to review players this week. If you haven't checked out the Fabio Vieira video, have a look at that on our channel. But today we're looking at Ajax defender Lisandro Martinez, a very interesting profile, a player who came from the Argentinian league, moved to Ajax, and has excelled playing as a centre back. He's 5'9", so very much not a traditional build of a central defender. He played a lot of his time in Argentina at left back, and he is a left-footed player. So we'll see as we go through this video, but I have a feeling that this player will play a lot at left back for Arsenal if he was to come in. But he is also, of course, able to play as a central back on the left to provide cover and competition for Gabriel, and also capable of playing in defensive midfield as well. He's played a couple of games for his country in that position, where he has 7 caps and 24 years of age. Still very much the age profile of almost every player that Arsenal are looking at right now. So seems to fit the bill. In terms of value then, 28.8 million. The stories so far suggest Arsenal had a bid rejected at around 25 million. So that value seems about right. So first we're going to take a look at some of Lisandro Martinez's strengths, and there are quite a few. What we're seeing here is him compared to other central defenders. And of course, as I've already said, he plays in a number of positions, but this is looking at his performance last season where he played almost exclusively as a central defender. So it is fair to compare him to other centre-backs, but a lot of green bars here, 99 percentile for carries, carry distance and progressive carry distance. So as you can see, he might start in centre-back, but he's a player who can bring that ball forward, carrying it even into the final third almost once per game. So from that position, he is one of the more attacking centre backs that you'll see, able to bring the ball forward. And in terms of defending against dribbles, he's very strong in 1v1s. As you see here, 98th percentile for dribbles contested and dribblers tackled. And his success rate, despite only having a 5'9" frame, he is, I think, nicknamed the Butcher in Holland. So it sounds like he's a very aggressive player who can get involved and win his tackles. 61% of dribblers tackled, which is 81st percentile. So in terms of defensive actions, it also looks very good for Lisandro. 99th percentile for tackles, 98 for tackles won. And what's interesting here as well is in the mid-third, he's over a tackle per game, 96th percentile. So really, he can tackle anywhere on the pitch, and it shows he does progress and sort of press up the pitch. And if Arsenal are looking to dominate possession, they need their defenders to be high up the pitch, good on the ball, and able to make challenges confidently in that middle third. And, well, I said good on the ball. That doesn't seem to come much better in terms of centre-backs on the ball with Lisandro. He's passes into final third, passing distance, key passes, shot creating actions, and goal creating actions. He's 99th percentile compared to other central defenders, and passes completed. So he is the creme de la creme of centre backs in terms of ability on the ball and ability to make an impact in the final third. And from watching a lot of his football, we can see that he's capable of short passes through the lines, but also he is very sort of Ben White-esque, able to chip the ball very accurately. So you're probably thinking, what is the downside to this player? He sounds amazing. Well, we touched on his aerial height at the start, 5'9". So it's probably no surprise that in terms of aerial duels, he's not anywhere near as good as he is in every other area. But I would say for 5'9", it's not bad. You know, he's winning 55% of his aerial duels, which is 20th percentile for a centre back, but it is meaning he's winning more than he loses. So he's got a pretty good jump on him from what I can see, but it definitely would be an area oppositions would target in the Premier League. And that's why, in my opinion, I think we could well see him more of a left back for Arsenal. He seems to have a lot of the attributes to play as a sort of inverted left back, creating chances and being involved in the build up for the Gunners. Another weak area then is probably his pressures. You can see he attempts 10.5 per game, which is pretty good, but he's only successful with 2.8 of those, 36th percentile. So his successful pressure percent is only 27%. So that is first percentile, very poor. So he's not particularly good at pressing and winning that ball back in that dynamic, but he does love a tackle. Just a quick reminder to please subscribe to our channel. It'll really help us grow and create more content over the summer. So now we're going to look at some in-game situations that Martinez has been involved in. And he's a natural efforter, and we've seen his ability to pass and come up the field. So I wanted to take a look at some of his more attacking contributions here. So in this first side, we can see Lisandro on the ball. It's a bit hidden, but he's just above the left point of the box. And there's a lot of players in front of him. More conservative players who don't have that passing instinct would probably just pass to his left here. But what Lisandro sees is the runner in the middle. And in this second clip, you can see he's used his left foot to put a perfectly weighted outside foot through ball to the guy running through the middle, and it finds him through, and the guy gets a shot away. So very, for a defender to spot from this situation a chance to set up the guy through the middle with a through ball shows his ability to do much more than just defend. And in this example, again, I've picked a situation where perhaps you could envisage him in an Arsenal shirt playing in that left back role, but getting up the field and coming in infield to get involved in the build up. And he's on the ball here. He uses his teammate to bounce a 1-2 off and then get across into the box, which creates a shot creating action, very nearly a goal. This goes back to his time in Argentina, where he played a lot more games at left back. So this is him in the left back position, on the ball, not much on. He hasn't got a lot of pressure on him, to be fair, but could very easily just find another player to the side or behind him. But he spots the runner through the middle and plays a very difficult pass here, but weights it perfectly. And his vision is definitely very, very good for a central defender or a left back. And the guy, again, gets a shot away. In this example, again, it's his time in Argentina, I believe, playing at left back. And this is just a cross into the box, which sets up another chance. But his ability to cross and generate chances is definitely quality. You know, he's got that vision. He's got the ability to pass short and long. So definitely a player who can fill in multiple positions, a bit like the Vieira signing that Arsenal are making. This looks like a player who can plug into Arsenal's system at left back, at left centre back, and defensive midfield. So let's dive a bit more into that then, where he fits into this team. And you would have heard me say as we've gone through the video, I see him probably coming in and providing real competition to Tierney at left back. Yes, I know he's played pretty much every game last season in central defence, but it's a bit different playing central defence in the Dutch league compared to the Premier League, especially at his height. And I just think that in Arsenal's formation, there is an opportunity for him to play in a lot of similar areas to what he probably does for Ajax in centre back. So as I've highlighted in this picture, he can tuck inside and sort of play that left centre midfield role that Granit Xhaka has often played. And what that will allow Arsenal to do is move on from Xhaka, as it appears they will, and say that is Vieira or Tielemans or Smith Rowe. It allows that player to not worry about that build-up in the left space zone and do more damage in the final third. And Arsenal have been doing a lot of good things in recent years in patches. And there's been a lot of talk about just moving that forward 10, 15 yards and dominating a bit higher up the pitch. And I feel this is a player who enables us to do pretty much exactly that, because he's playing left back, but he's taking that position of what our left number 8 has been doing. And that then just frees us up to just dominate more in the final third. So that's probably the main position I see him playing. And he can tuck in and sort of sit alongside Partey at the base of midfield from that position when we're in possession. Another option then is him playing where he's played for Ajax last season in the left centre back role. Currently no other left-footed centre back in the squad apart from Gabriel, so it would provide him with competition and cover. I would worry a little bit about Martinez and White as our two centre backs from an aerial perspective. Neither of them are particularly dominant at winning their aerial duels, so that is a consideration Arsenal will need to make, probably based on the opposition. If we're playing against an Ivan Toney, for example, it's probably not wise to deploy these two as our centre backs. But look, it is an option, and again, it would allow Tierney, if he's playing left back, to bomb on, and Martinez to sort of fill in that left space, and again enable Arsenal to dominate higher up the pitch. The third position then is probably at the base of midfield. As I say, he's had a few appearances here, a couple for his country as well. So it's not certain that he would be able to play in this position for Arsenal, especially because they ask an awful lot of Thomas Partey in that 6 role. But if he could as well plug in there and provide an upgrade on the likes of El Nene and Lokonga when they try and play that position, that's just going to give Arsenal even more quality depth. And he would drift over to that left side naturally, being left-footed, and again allow that number 8 to push on up the pitch and maybe tuck inside a little bit more and support the striker. So the verdict for me on this one then is Lisandro, clearly a very talented player, a player who's very, very strong on the ball, and Arteta's vision is clear to dominate the possession against opposition. And Lisandro is a player that's going to raise that technical level in Arsenal's back line for sure. If he were to come in, you would probably see someone like Rob Holding then depart, because we'd have Saliba and White on the right and Gabriel and Lisandro on the left. And there's no question, in terms of data and the eye tests, that Lisandro is much better on the ball than Rob Holding. So it helps move Arsenal in the right direction. It's not going to be a cheap signing, but I think like Vieira, if you can get him around that £30 million mark and he can fill in a few positions, and I think there's more than enough potential in Lisandro to become a starting player, especially at left back with Tierney in and out of the team with his injuries. I think if Lisandro could really make that position his own, there would be a real threat to Tierney's position. Thank you very much for watching another Fresh Arsenal Show Transfer Short. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and if you enjoyed this content, please like the video.